the buses do suck, though. When we were coming back that one time from Mickey's stupid Christmas thing that cost $800,
Yeah.
see, I'm in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
Riverside crash, I'm pissed off. So we get back to the main campus, and the guy stops. He's like, "Oh, we're going to the tree houses. Oh, you're lucky because this is the last bus." Like, what do you mean? There's still people back at the Magic Kingdom waiting to get on.
Right.
Yeah, well, this is okay.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 82, recorded in the DeFont Leroy Recording Studios in Saratoga, Florida, in Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike. In Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good evening, Mr. Arruda.
What's going on today? How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Not too bad.
I think we're at day 14 of the Guthrie case. I can't stay away from it.
I have not paid any attention to it.
It's fascinating. What happened to her?
I thought they found the body, no?
No.
Oh, I don't know anything, like I said.
What do you do with your time?
I don't pay attention to that. It has no effect on me.
It's a fascinating case, Parts.
I usually just look at, like, Twitter about UConn basketball. That's usually what I do with my extra time.
So, yeah, that's a fascinating. Like, I thought it was ransom. It can't be ransom. They would have wanted to get their cash by now. But what good would be just taking her out of her house and killing her? I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, didn't they say it was the son-in-law?
And that's early on.
Oh, that's been debunked at this point?
That was early on. I don't know. I think the lady who broke that still believes it's the son-in-law. Ashley Banfield, she does her own podcast now. It's a very good podcast. She was with News Nation for a while. She left to focus all of her time and energy on her podcast. But
is she like all into true crime, or is this?
Yeah, she's into that. But she has a lot of connections. She's very good.
See, the true crime thing is fascinating. People get into the true crime stuff, and then when it involves a celebrity, it's like a perfect mix. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't understand. I haven't paid that close attention to it. So,
like the Gabby Petito, you knew it was Brian Laundrie. I mean, everybody.
Even still, that was still a crazy case.
That was a crazy case,
but
parents,
at least we knew him and covered up for him and everything.
Yeah, it was crazy. The parents covering up, but you knew damn well. You're like, yeah, that kid had to have done it. Who else would have done it? But with this, nothing makes sense.
No, because if it was just random, they would have found the body by now.
Like, they have now this technology where they're supposedly flying around in a helicopter trying to ping her pacemaker.
Jeez.
I'm like, dude, the technology out there is crazy.
It's a little scary sometimes. I mean, I guess it's good if you're missing, but the fact that you could be, like, triangulated pretty much with anything.
I mean, how they were able to get that Ring door footage when she didn't even have an active subscription. They worked with Google engineers to get that. That's crazy.
That's also a little scary.
Wow.
That, like, you're just being watched at all times. Like that Super Bowl commercial for the Ring to find the lost dog. Did you see that?
I thought it was actually a good commercial.
It wasn't a bad commercial, but the technology's scary. It's like, yeah, we'll just tap into everybody's Ring all at once.
They've been doing that for years. I'm not
but now they're just outright saying it. Yeah.
Savannah Guthrie's mother, so I don't really have any concern.
No,
my problem is if they're listening in on me wanting to do a podcast of presidents who have the worst breath, they might have to just come and throw me in that padded room. For those of you listening, if you're interested, that could be coming out very shortly.
That's definitely.
Are you moving on?
No, we don't have to. We don't have to move on, but that's definitely a concern.
What, if people listening to me wanting to have a podcast?
Although you're going to broadcast it anyway, so I guess you're not too concerned about that.
Nah, it's fine.
What's our topic today, Mike? Unless we're just talking about Savannah Guthrie, which I'm fine with that too. I'm just not very
my ADD's terrible. I've got 50 show ideas out right now that I'm thinking about.
Meanwhile, at 7:48, we get the topic for this week.
Oh no, we had this topic all day. You know what's funny? I had to protect you when we were walking a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, Susie, I got to come up with a topic. She's like, does Gary ever come up with topics? You're always asking me on our walks to help you come up with a topic. Like he does once in a while. Like if you don't hear from me within 2 hours, then you're like, oh no, we got to think.
I was wondering about our other show, which we're not recording yet. I was like, we haven't heard. We've said word zero about that so far.
You might want to turn on your microphone a little bit. Your sound isn't all that great.
No, it's not going good.
It's not that great. I usually just turn it up when I edit, but we should be fine.
Well, I don't have any controls on it. I don't have any volume settings on the microphone.
I think you just really need to talk into it. It might be a little too dynamic right now.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Like when you face away, I don't hear you that well.
I'll try to make sure I stay
That's
into
perfect.
It. Okay.
Yep, that's perfect. Anyway.
Problem is I have to look at my other screen occasionally, but that's okay. I'll figure it out.
Our topic today, Gary Frankaruta, we are going to talk about Saratoga Springs, the pros and cons.
Yeah, because a lot of people crap on our resort.
There's been, and it's not quite ours yet, but it's close. There's a number out there, just doesn't have enough stars. I like 120. I like 100. I like 100, but I like 120 a little better. And 150 is just overkill.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
If I buy a Grand Cal,
yeah, you have too many points.
I will have too many. I don't have too many right now.
No, I'm saying with all these hypothetical ones, you would have too many. Is Susie on board with the Saratoga one, or are you trying to slip this one past the goalie and then
Saratoga one's difficult.
I would think so.
Saratoga's difficult. You do be good, especially after a stressful couple weeks. We just go up there on a Friday because we'll have extra points. So we don't have to worry about going during the week and saving points.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go up there on a Saturday. We could spend a full Saturday and Sunday. Even though she hates going to the parks, we'll stay at Saratoga Springs. We can go to Disney Springs, or we can get a 1-bedroom and cook and just hang out. Go sit at the bar, go shoot some pool, go walk around the landscape at that gorgeous resort.
Yeah.
I've found a couple of new podcasters, and I'll tell you, they all sing the same song, read the same playbook. Saratoga's so boring. Saratoga's, enough.
No, I'm not going to be here. I love it. It's my favorite. I love it. It's one of my home resorts, but I'm not going to come on here and say it's perfect. I don't think there is a perfect DVC resort. They all have pros and cons, which will be a series, right? We're going to go through all the resorts and list the pros and cons in our opinion.
Yeah.
I was trying to be very fair about it when I was coming up with some of mine.
Yeah.
Because I understand where people are coming from when they talk about it. There's going to be some that would be considered a pro for some people and a con for others, and I think that's fine.
That's the problem.
But like you always say, though, Mike, DVC is a great product because there's something for everybody. It works because not everybody wants to stay at Saratoga, and it could be a hidden gem. It works because people don't want to spend 26 points to stay at a studio at the Grand Floridian when they can spend 13 at another resort. But some people do, and that's why it's great. Not everyone's vying for the same rooms, by and large. And different trips will have different positives depending on how you're going to do a particular stay, whether you're a local, whether you're coming in for a week plus. It all will make a difference on that. But I guess we can get right into it. Did you make a full list? You want to just go kind of back and forth, or?
Yeah, we'll just go back and forth. I don't really have a list to go back and forth on. I think we're pretty much going to have similar.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. So I guess we could start. You want to start with the pros, the cons, or just go back and forth?
Let's go back and forth.
All right, I like that.
Why don't you give us a pro and then I'll give you a con?
All right. The first pro for me, and not in any order, just the first one I'm going to talk about, is the golf courses there. It's such a unique situation to stay at a resort where you can go downstairs and play 18 holes of golf and have a full driving range, putting greens. It's really the only one because Shades of Green isn't a full Disney resort because you have to be military to stay there. You can't even walk across the street anymore, right, if you're staying at the Polynesian?
Nah, they totally redid that whole area.
So Saratoga is the only one where you can roll into a golf course from your resort. And I think that's a huge pro for the certain set of people. For some people, it means nothing. I don't think it's a con. I wouldn't consider it a con for anybody. If you stay there and you don't like golf, you don't care if people are coming to play golf. They don't get in your way. There's plenty of parking. It's not like they're taking up space or anything. So that'd be the first pro. I'm assuming that would definitely be a pro for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have for a con?
The thing that bugs us the most is we hate, and she hates it even more, doors that open to the outside.
Like no interior hallway.
Yeah, she always feels like unsafe because usually that's when we're road tripping and we're staying at a $39 unsafe hotel just outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, right.
I don't think you have to worry about the prostitutes the same way you do at the Super Motel 6. And
probably to a lesser extent at Saratoga Springs, I would say. Yeah. They usually hang out at Coronado, I think.
We noticed it wasn't a bug problem, but there were a lot of bugs on the doors. And you had to hurry up and open and close the door. That was one thing. And they do a good job. I've heard, there's centipedes, and they do the best that they possibly can. But depending on the time of weather, it was it was a drought season. And you're nodding your head. Did you notice bugs on the doors as well?
Well, I was gonna say one of the things I noticed a lot of are the little lizards running around the halls.
Yeah.
Which I don't. That doesn't bother me, but you don't see that at Boulder Ridge when you're inside.
Correct.
On the carpeted hallway. So
Correct.
You're right, because they're converted essentially dorms or apartments, whatever you want to call it. So you have the exterior door. It's not really a motel feel because you still have the balcony, but I get what you're
there's
saying.
no motel feel. It's just, it almost has that motor lodge feel when you're first walking in.
Yep, I get what you're saying. That leads me to another pro, though. This is one, I'm just kind of piggybacking off what you're saying. One of the huge advantages is if you have a car, you could park within steps of your doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of parking, and you're always going to find one right near where you're staying.
Which really works because if you're taking a bus, if you're using Mears Transportation or you get a car service, and you're coming into that main check-in area, you're definitely not bringing your bags to your room, so they're going to be stored there. So now when you call Bell Services to come deliver your bags, they have to take one of those golf carts.
Right.
And it could take forever to get your bags. So, and depending on how busy they are, if a bunch of rooms are opening up right at the 3:30, 4 o'clock, and they've only got a few guys with golf carts, it could take you a while to get your bag.
Yeah, certainly.
Never happened to us, obviously, because we drive, and it is fantastic just to pop the trunk. Especially staying for a couple days and bringing our Yeti mini cooler. Now we leave in the room.
You can't go wrong with it. If you were able to, if you rent a car or you drive there, it's great to be able to park right there.
Yeah.
That's a huge pro. And there's not a lot of the resorts that you could say that. Old Key West, you can say it. Saratoga. But that's pretty much it. The parking's usually pretty separated from the buildings for most of the other resorts.
You want me to give you another con?
Why don't you give a pro so you're not being Mr. Negative this whole time?
Well, I was gonna do a con, and then I'll jump up and give a pro.
All right, do that.
We can almost do it like
Snake
those,
draft, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about the good parking, how you can park outside your room or right next to your building. They also have very poor parking. They have limited spaces when you're checking in. A lot of times I have to go park by the pool or at another building because there's literally only about
Probably
a
20.
dozen spots.
Yeah. No, you're right.
A lot of them are labeled for their buses and for Disney transportation. So when we do go to check in, a lot of times we're driving around the campus just trying to find anywhere to park the car. Sometimes I just have Kristen run in.
Because there's not even a close, big lot that you can walk. You have to
literally I have to go across the
Yeah.
street into one of their buildings there and just leave my car and then come up and cross the street, and then you have to
Right.
walk up all those stairs.
Yeah, so for a place that has a lot of parking, there's not a lot of parking at the check-in.
Right.
I guess the best place would probably be the golf course and come up that way, right? If you needed to
Yeah,
park.
I mean, sure you could.
But that's still kind of a pain to have to
Yeah.
go all the way down, go up through the pro shop. And then
We
come up
actually,
that
we
way.
did, the last time we went there, we actually did the golf course.
Yeah.
We were parked right by outside their tennis courts.
Which, there's tons of parking over there. It's just not
It's
super
fine.
convenient to the lobby.
Yep.
All right, why don't you give me a pro?
The views. You can't go wrong with the views.
The grounds
mean,
are just gorgeous.
We've never, you had that trash can view at Boulder Ridge, and you can get some poor views at other resorts. I have yet to have a bad view. As a matter of fact, we've always gotten the cheapest room, and it's always been great. I would like to upgrade and get that Disney Springs view.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. Especially at night. I've watched a YouTube with it at night, and I'm like, just sit out there for a couple hours and just chill and listen. You can hear the music in the background. It's some great views, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I hardly ever, I very often hesitate to spend the extra points on an upgraded view. I don't think it's worth it. Ironically, I think that one may be the most worth it to be in that section because, one, you can walk to Disney Springs a lot easier, and you get that view, which is probably the most underrated view on property, maybe.
I agree with you because I'm the same way. You've been to my room at the Grand Floridian that one time when you brought Sarah, and I had the cheaper view, and we watched the monorail go by. You had a partial lake view. You could see the boats going to the Magic Kingdom. I'll take that and save 6 points a night.
Yeah,
You're going
absolutely.
for 3 nights, it's 18 points. I'll take that.
That's an extra night somewhere, yeah.
I also don't mind. I've usually gotten the resort view at Riviera all the times. The one time we went up in December and they didn't have it, so we had the upgraded view, and it was nice. It's a nice surprise for 2 nights. Okay, it cost us 8 points, big freaking deal. But when
Right.
you're going for 10 days like you guys are going, that's 3 nights somewhere. It
Yeah,
can
that's
really
up
add
quick.
up.
Yeah, it does. No, the views are fantastic, and that kind of goes into, and I think you're right. I don't think there's a bad view because all the balconies face towards the landscaping. None of them.
That's
face
right.
Out
They
towards
all
the
face
parking
out.
lot.
Yeah, because if you were to get a parking lot view, that would really suck. But they all have. I've been on the first floor. I've been on the second floor, and they've all been great. I've never once said, "Oh, this sucks."
I mean, it's better. You can have a golf course view, and if you don't like golf, you're not going to like that. I would like that a lot.
Yeah, I would love to have a golf course view.
But if you don't care about golf, and you could have a Disney Springs view, and you get stuck with a golf course view, I could see being disappointed. But it's still a lot better than a parking lot.
It sure is.
So I guess I'll do a con then, right?
Sure.
This is probably the biggest con that most people come up with, and it's the buses.
It's
right?
awful.
It's bad. This resort is a night and day whether you have a car or not. Because if you're dependent on the buses there, it's not a fun experience, especially if you're trying to go rope drop or get back at the end of the day. Because one, they don't run a ton of buses at the parks. And then there's 1,000 stops. I know that's being exaggerating, but what are there, 5 internal stops? And if you're at the wrong one, heading out, you get there, the bus is full by the time it gets there, then you wait another 20 minutes for the next one to come. You know, if you're at that last stop before it heads off property, can really put a cramp into your plans for the day. And that's a legitimate concern.
The buses do suck, though. When we were coming back that one time from Mickey's stupid Christmas thing that cost $800,
yeah,
see, I'm in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
Riverside crash, I'm pissed off. So we get back to the main campus, and guy stops. He's like, "Oh, we're going to the tree houses. Oh, you're lucky because this is the last bus." Like, what do you mean? There's still people back at the Magic Kingdom waiting to get on.
Right.
Yeah, well, this is okay.
And it's not well lit over there, so if you're walking back to the tree houses in the middle of the night, it's not easy sledding.
No, it's not.
It's a long walk. So that was my con. Do you want me to give a pro? We'll go back to the snake draft format here.
Yeah.
I was going to say a pro for me is just, I love the rooms there. Just the refurb they did was very nice. It's actually getting old. They're probably due for another soft goods pretty soon. I think it's been 5 or 6 years.
It seems like just yesterday they did that refurb, and now they're
ready for another one almost. Yeah. But I still think they did a great job with those. I think the rooms are gorgeous. They're generally pretty big. They're not the biggest. We've gone through that on other shows. But they're a really good size. And the availability. I kind of lumped that in. You can almost always get a room there. Very rare occasions, like marathon weekends, probably hard to get a room there. Christmas, just when it's sold out across property. But for the most part, even on short notice, it's pretty easy to get a room at Saratoga.
Yeah, it is.
How about you got a con?
I'm trying to think if I have any more cons.
Well, think about what some other people might say, not necessarily ones that you agree with.
I think food and beverage is lacking. Obviously, it's lacking a lot.
That was one on my list.
The gift shop was an afterthought.
Yeah, well, one of them was. Either the quick service was an afterthought in the gift shop, or the gift shop was an afterthought in the quick service.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's kind of like
I'm not
first, the chicken and the egg, exactly.
And there's a lot of room up there. They could expand
so much
that.
Room, and they just don't utilize. I mean, they have a spa right now that they're probably not going to reopen.
Well, guess what? That's a con.
Well, yeah, that is a con.
While we're talking about it, I guess that was one on my list. Call yourself Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, and you have a spa sitting there empty. A huge building right near the main thoroughfare of everything that's just useless at this point. Do anything with it. Make it usable, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a spa. It'd be great if it was, but it doesn't have to come back as a spa, but do something.
Yeah.
You can't just leave it empty. And as a side note, you know what drives me crazy? What's that building right across from the check-in? You know where they have the statue of the horse?
Yeah.
There's that building right there?
Yeah.
What the heck is that? That's got to be a holdover from the Disney Institute, right?
It does. I talked to a cast member. I forget what she said they use that for.
Mm-hmm.
But they do use it on occasion for certain things.
That's another huge building that could be utilized for something really cool. I don't know what, but you could do tons of things in these types of buildings. You have so many people staying there on any given day because they have so many rooms. Do stuff that draws people there or keeps people there. It'd be great. They're not going to invest in,
Things that aren't
putting
gonna
more
make them
stuff
money.
there. Right. They can't sell more points by investing in this, so it's not really going to do them a lot of good. Kind of piggybacked on your con there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the dining. But that goes along with one of the biggest pros, I think, is the accessibility to Disney Springs.
Yeah, probably their biggest asset, don't you think?
For people like us, for sure. Because Disney Springs has a ton of great quick service, a ton of great sit-downs, a ton of great shops, so much to do. If you like to party and like listen to music and go bar hopping, it's great. If you just want to have a casual lunch at a place like Polite Pig, it's fantastic. And being able to walk or take the boat over there easily, we've said it so many times, it just changes your whole feeling on Disney Springs. I used to dread that trip. Like, you almost felt obligated to do it at one point during your trip. Like, all right, we got to do Disney Springs for like a few hours.
For one of your non-park days.
And you just dread it because it takes forever to get there. The buses stink over there. They're worse there than anywhere else, the buses, in my opinion.
The buses there suck. You got to go through security.
Yeah. And now, like, if you stay at Disney Springs, you can walk over there in 7 or 8 minutes. You go through that separate security line, which is never busy. You get right in, and then you can leave. You don't feel guilty leaving after an hour.
Because you can go multiple times a day.
If you want, yeah. I mean, we did that when Sarah and I stayed there, just the two of us. We went over, we grabbed lunch, walked around, we left, went in the pool, and we went back and got dinner there. Like, you're not going to do that at any other resort.
Absolutely
Maybe Old Key
not.
West if you want to hop on the boat or something, but besides the ones on the Sassagoula River, you're not doing that anywhere else. If you're staying at Wilderness Lodge, you're not going to Disney Springs twice in one day. Absolutely not. Even if you had a car, you wouldn't. Because the parking garages there could be a nightmare.
Parking garages suck as well.
At Disney Springs. So, the walkability to Disney Springs is probably the biggest
I think
pro
one of
for
the
them.
great benefits, too, of being right next to Disney Springs is it forced us to do things that we wouldn't normally do. We did the balloon.
Mm-hmm.
We did the boats. The
Amphicar, yeah.
And if you're going there, if you're staying at the Contemporary, you're going there to go shopping, to go hit these 5 shops, and to have a reservation at one of the Disney Springs restaurants, and then
Get a cocktail somewhere, yeah. Or you're waiting in line for Gideon's or something.
Right.
You're trying to like check things off a list.
Yeah, you're there on a mission. When you're at Saratoga Springs, you can just browse, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, it's fantastic in that regard. I guess another con that a lot of people talk about, I don't feel it's a con. I actually feel it's a pro. So this could be a pro/con. Is just the size of the resort, how big it is. And it is big. It's a very big resort,
Yeah.
footprint-wise. But it's gorgeous. Walking around there, it's one of the prettiest ones on property, in my opinion. Especially if you like walking around, or taking the Surrey bike, or renting a regular bike and going around and just taking in all the fountains and the landscaping and the lakes. Like, I think its size is a huge asset, but I also get it. If you end up at Saratoga Springs without doing any research and you think you're going to be able to, go commando to the parks, this isn't the resort for you. If you want to do rope drop and be at the parks all day and come back and take a nap and go back, Saratoga is not the perfect place for you, I don't think. Unless you have a car. But if you want to do a laid back, go to the parks for a couple hours, spend a lot of time at the resort, spend a lot of time walking around, time at Disney Springs, yeah, it's hard to beat. And it's so chill there. The vibes are so chill. The pools don't get crazy with the weasels. I don't feel like. I know they do the games and stuff just like everywhere else, but it just feels different there.
I mean, I'll give you another positive that is spun.
Yeah, sure.
By the Mickey Air wearing rubes is the lack of theming.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because it's not over your head. I love those light colors. All the buildings are just beautiful, tranquil. You chill. When we were training for a half marathon, we were running, and you go over the bridge and you go by the pool, and landscaping is gorgeous, and it's not smacking your head like the A-frame at the Contemporary. I think it's just very subtle. And
but I think the theming is great there. It's not that it's not themed. Yeah.
No, it's on key for what it is. I'm just saying, people think of Pop Century when they think of theming. I don't want every resort to be Pop Century in the Polynesian.
Yeah, they're good for what they are. Like, I love those resorts, don't get me wrong, but Saratoga's themed amazingly well.
Oh, I agree.
Every square inch of it, because they even have the foliage. You don't see palm trees.
There's no palm
at
trees
Saratoga.
there. It's trees that you would see in upstate central New York.
Yeah. So they did a very thoughtful job of it. The buildings, they repurposed them, but they're great buildings. Like you said, the colors work. The landscaping's great. The pools are all themed amazingly for what they are. The main pool is like the High Rocks pool, and it has the spring and the waterfall coming down. I don't know. I think the theming there is great, but you're right. It's not Disney themed.
Yeah, you and I think the theming is on point. A lot of vloggers and other podcasts think that they did a poor job with the theming.
It's not themed to kids. It's not going to hit you over the head with Mickey Mouse everywhere.
It's an adult. I think it's a very adult-centric resort. That's why it's in my top 5, and it's probably going to be one of the next contracts that I buy because I just love it there.
Yeah. Another pro, since we're talking about addicted to DVC, is it's a very attractive contract on resale. You can get it for a really good price per point. It's got relatively low dues, and it's got a good expiration date, 2054. So you get an extra 12 years after the traditional 2042 resorts. Yeah. The dues are still under $10 a point, and you can get a contract for in the 90s there on resale. Sometimes in the 80s, depending on how it goes.
Sometimes there is an 8 before the at the front, which is very attractive. It is a very, very attractive contract.
And like you said, it's great for sleep around points because it's an attractive resale contract, but you can use it for 11 months because if I'm booking my trip and I have to book it at 11 months to lock something in, I'm not going to be disappointed if I have to stay there.
No, not at all.
And you don't get an advantage inside the 7 months, but it's nice knowing that there's almost always a room there when you need it.
You're right.
At Saratoga.
You're right.
Especially because we love it. It's not one where it's like, oh, damn, now I'm stuck. Like, if Copper Creek was always available at the last minute, you'd be like, ugh, all right, I got to stay at Copper Creek because I need a room last minute. Because I know that's probably your least favorite on-property one.
It's perfect, too, because we were looking, and we can't get anything for the Run Disney event that we got into in April.
Yeah.
But we need 3 nights, and if we were able to plan ahead, because we got into this last minute, Saratoga's a great resort to stay if you're running, because we're not going to want to do the parks. We're going to want a resort that has a hot tub, and we're probably going to want to be able to loosen up and walk, because after you run at this age and you sit down, you're done. So we saw this old guy after the half marathon, and we were getting off the bus at Coronado Springs, and this guy was just doing loops. And I'm like, you're still going? He goes, I have to. He goes, because if I sit down on that bed, I ain't getting up for 3 days. I'm like, yeah, I know. I had trouble getting off the bus. So it's great just to be able to walk around, maybe go to Disney Springs and get a quick bite, or you can carry around, get a burger at Deluxe Burger and just walk around the springs and keep those legs moving. But
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's a great resort for if you want to go over to Epcot for a food and wine, see a band, you're dropping 11, 12, 13 points a night, which
it's actually super close to Epcot if you drive, because you can go that back way.
Yes.
That's like Backstage Road, I think, over there.
Yes, exactly.
Which is right across. Like, when we went there in December a couple years ago, and we took the girls and we rented a car, and we were driving to Epcot. I was like, it's 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so quick to get to the parking lot of Epcot. It was fantastic.
You don't realize that because it is far out there. Because when you go to Disney Springs almost feels like it's on the other side of the state, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And that brings me to another positive. It
Mhm.
is out of the way. It's secluded, but you're damn close to a lot of resorts. If you want to go see Bob or go grab some beignets, you can jump over and especially if you're staying in the buildings right near Disney Springs, you can walk, which is less than a 5-minute walk over to those boat launches.
Yeah.
And head down to Port Orleans French Quarter or Port Orleans Riverside.
Or Old Key West if you want. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. What you did when you visited your 21 resorts in one day.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of used Disney Springs as a little hub to get some of those knocked out.
Those boats are so convenient, but they didn't feel convenient toward the end of the day.
they don't go as quick as you want, do they?
No, they don't. And then when you're waiting by that bridge, it's like, come on, dude, let's go. I think you got the right of way. And he's just sitting there, and I'm like, come on, man. Usually I'm just sitting there chilling, but I kept looking at my watch.
Yeah, I mean, as far as other cons, I don't really have any other ones. You mentioned the food, which, again, Turf Club, it's not open 7 days a week. It's only open for dinner. That's definitely a con. You already mentioned that. I think the quick service is pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that, but that whole area could be a little better, like a better dedicated gift shop would be really nice.
People even know the layout. Like, if you were to drop your dad there for a week,
yeah,
it probably would have taken him a day or two to figure out that there is a quick service there.
Yeah, well,
because
especially
it's just so out of the way.
Especially when we stayed at the tree houses. Yeah. That's another pro. The tree houses, the most affordable 3-bedroom on property.
Yeah, really.
And they're nice, man. I'll tell you. I can't wait to see what they do with the refurb in those things.
It's going to be lighter, but I think they're going to do something similar to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
It needs it. It's showing its age. It needs a TLC. But man, the bones of that thing, you can't beat that. It's such a unique experience. It's perfect for, like you said, like a bachelor party if you're playing some golf, or a family trip like we did, or even like you pointed me to that YouTube video. Someone rented it for New Year's Eve, and they had people over and hanging out and playing games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we did that. We were playing the games. We were playing high-low jack all night and laughing and having the best
fantastic.
time.
That was one of the best trips, wasn't it? We didn't.
Yeah.
Other than Mickey's Christmas party, that cost us $2,000.
Yeah.
I think
we played golf with
room on a cash stay, which we didn't do, but a cash stay was probably cheaper than
the party itself.
What
that
ticketed party was. Do you remember how many points it was?
It's like 37 a night, something like that.
That's a steal, isn't it?
Yeah, in December. That's not bad. Might have been 40, but like maybe 37 and 40 for the weekend, something like that.
You could definitely see if you were to sneak the kids down there for 3 or 4 days to do a treehouse stay.
Yeah. You need another contract for that, though.
I agree.
Yeah, we played golf with Joe Quat. That was a great foursome.
That was a great foursome. The weather sucked.
The weather wasn't bad during golf, I don't think.
I think we stayed dry because it rained that whole weekend, but
yeah,
I think the weather still kind of sucked.
Yeah. Remember, golf was okay. When we went to Disney Springs, we got soaked.
That was terrible.
But we did the brunch at Boathouse. That was great.
Yeah,
that was a good trip. I don't have anything else really, but I think overall the pros outweigh the cons
by far,
at this place.
I had to scratch to find some cons.
I mean, they're legitimate ones. The buses is definitely a big one.
Yep.
That's the biggest one for sure. So if you're trying to go to the parks nonstop, that's a big con. But the pros outweigh it, in my opinion. And the people who don't appreciate it, I don't know. I just don't think they take the time to pause and take it all in. It's just a great resort. Has a lot going for it.
I was watching one vlogger. I'm not going to name names, but they were pretty big back a few years ago. And then when a certain individual left the show, they've kind of not taken a step back, but they're just, I don't watch them as much because I really enjoyed that curmudgeon. But I think you know what show I'm talking about.
I have an idea.
And one of the guys said that was the first time he's ever been to Saratoga Springs. How is that even possible? You're a local.
That's your
Disney
job.
vlogger.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, we met the Willings up there. I think they were doing a Disney Springs, and I made a reservation at Turf Club because I'm curious. I'm like, never eaten there, never been to Saratoga Springs. This gives me an excuse to go up there and walk around. And
Yeah.
I remember walking around that main lobby where the horse is. I'm like, this place is gorgeous. I don't think you were ever familiar with the place, were you?
No, not really. I mean, I knew of it, but I'd never really spent any
It's
time
not a
there.
destination for people who are staying at a value. You know, you and I are nerds that we'll go to Disney Springs, and if the girls want to shop, just say, hey, let's go walk over there for an hour and check out the
Right. Go
property,
to
you know.
the golf shop, you know,
Sure, yeah.
the pro shop and the golf course. Look at the shirts. But yeah, it's not a huge draw. Like, there's nothing drawing you there if you're not staying there.
Right.
Except for the golf course. If you're a golfer, then obviously you've probably been there. That was probably the only time I'd ever been on there.
You know,
Was when we played golf on
yeah,
the gentleman's trip.
Yeah, on the gentleman's trip. I'll give you, we're getting a little long here, but I'll give you another one. Another
Okay.
pro is the food at the golf course.
The Chippendales little
Yes.
quick serve.
Cheapest place on property to get a beer. They had the great breakfast sandwiches. It's so good that Kristen and I went there for breakfast. We sat
Right,
out there. It was
Boar's
a
Head.
beautiful day.
They have the Boar's Head deli sandwiches.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
So they have good quality stuff.
Boar's Head deli sandwiches, great breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, I think the beers are only like $6, right?
Yeah, still cheap for Disney because it's an outside company. It's Arnold Palmer
Right.
Golf Course Management. And they're not killing you. It's fantastic. For those of you who don't know, it's on the other side. So if you walk in to check in, if you go down where Turf Club is, just walk
And
out
go
those
down the
doors
stairs,
and then
yeah.
go downstairs. And that's where
Yep.
the pro shop is. And right around the corner is where their little
Quick
little
services, yeah.
quick services. Yep. Go check that out.
Because you could even take the food and go up and sit on like the patio
Yeah, you
upstairs
go
and
sit
eat.
out, yeah. Because most of the time that Turf Club is closed, you could just go sit at one of those tables. You just bring it inside and
Yeah.
shoot some pool, watch some TV over outside the Turf Club inside. Inside it.
All right, why don't you bring us home?
All right, if everybody who's listening or watching on YouTube, hit us up. Let us know if we missed anything or what some of your pros and cons are at Saratoga Springs. We have lively conversations on our not WDW, but our DVC Addicts Facebook group. Anyways, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show info@addictedtodvc.com and join our aforementioned Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.